Yo, we are live and direct here at the Scarce City headquarters. I am your host, Chief Executive Pleb, Chris Tremount. Oh my God, we have a rare Pepe market for you today. It's about to get crazy. We have 21 of the dankest and rarest rare Pepe lots we could come up with. We're open for bidding now. The bids are already coming through. We're going to go through each of these individually, and we got a very special guest today. It is none other than Robness, His Highness, who's going to be talking through the lots with us. Little do many know, Robness is a rare Pepe OG, and he's got some insights on these beautiful lots. Before we bring him on, I'm going to give you a quick introduction on how Lightning auctions work for anyone who's new here. We also got a new feature for you. Starting off with this collections page, this is where you want to be. Head on over to Scarce.city. It's the first one, first big button there, Rare Pepe Market. And you got this button here to log in to pre-order unlimited bids. You press this. If you haven't registered already, you'll just create a password, verify your email address. Once you do that, you'll have the option to put down 1 million sats. This is a refundable deposit. You get it back once the auctions are over. With this collateral, you'll have unlimited bids on all rare Pepe collection auctions, okay? You don't have to worry about putting down collateral with each individual bid. All right, now, let's say you've done that, maybe you haven't. You go into the auction you want to bid on. Here we got Dank Pepe, Cornholio the Great already bidding on this one. Say you want to place a bid, input how much you want to bid. We do the bids in sats. We do the sats math for you. We tell you how much you'll have to deposit in USD and in sats, assuming you haven't put down that one-time payment. You just put in your email address and you'll put in a display name. That's what shows up here in the bid table. And then we'll direct you over to BTC Pay Server. All payments can be made over Lightning or on-chain. Of course, keep in mind if you're paying on-chain, you will be paying fees on those. We need those to confirm within standard auction time, and we disable them within the final 10 minutes of the auctions. All right, so these are 48-hour plus auctions. All right, we're ending these starting at around the same time on Sunday, so you got some time to play around with this and figure it out. All right, I think that's all the real important information for you. If you got any questions, just hit me up. I'm easy to find. Without further ado, I'm going to welcome on our special guest, Mr. Robness. How you doing, man?
Cheers. What's happening?
Dude.
Good to see y'all.
It's good to see you, man. Thank you so much for making this happening.
Honored to be here.
Cool, man. Well, let's kick it off. Like, I think a lot of people know who you are and know your antics, but I don't think many know about your background with the Pepes. Why don't you tell us about how you got into this thing?
Yeah, well, it's funny because this wasn't the very first thing I got introduced to. Like 2015, I was beta testing a game called Spells of Genesis. You know, so that was also on the Counterparty Network. So during that time, it was like people were just messing with just gaming on the blockchain from the very beginning, and so I was just beta testing that, and on the Slack and just trying to input my 2 cents in here and there. And there was another game I was beta testing as well, which is called Saratobi. It's literally like an 8-bit monkey game. You swing the vine and try to launch them like as far as you can, and you get these little Bitcoin stuff. So I was messing with those two things. But when you're on the Counterparty exchange, you can see these assets pop in here and there. And like lo and behold, I see a rare Pepe asset in there. I'm like, what is this? Is it happening? I'm like, is the rarity coming into play? And so I did a little snooping, and then I found the infamous Telegram chat. And so I went in there, and I think there was, I honestly can't even remember to this day. I think it was like 30 people in there just like shooting the shit. And then just, we found out that, the run of the room, infamous Mike, he created the rare Pepe asset. And then from that point on, we all contributed, and and then we formed the scientist group, and then they're the ones who allowed which Pepes to come in and get verified and stuff. And then from that point, it went on from there. And like every month after that, it was just, artists or just various people from the Bitcoin community would kind of drop in and check it out. And lo and behold, we get more artists and more artists, and then it was starting to get harder to submit. And you know, for the first couple series, I submitted some pieces and stuff, and then like here and there. But after that, it was like I just stepped away and let everybody else kind of come in. And yeah, no, from that point on, and just shoot, history was made at that point. So yeah, I definitely was blessed to be a part of it, because it's just trippy now to see how everything has turned out, you know, just worldwide.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think what the Spells of Genesis really kicked things off, but the Rare Pepes were right behind, and the rest is history, right? Like these are the projects that blaze the trail for everything we're seeing today.
Yeah, and I think the most importantly, like the most important thing about the Rare Pepe project was that it was open for normal civilians like myself to like submit artwork, you know, because like, you know, Spells of Genesis was, you know, there was a company making that game, and every project had their own little, you know, closed silo of sorts, you know. So this was the first open-ended, you know, like if you want to contribute to this project, you can just submit your work and let's do this thing. And then, you know, it was basically the first like world like crypto art village. Very, very dysfunctional one, but like, you know, that's what it had to take, you know. So yeah, memes built this thing, man. I have no problem saying that. Definitely
Yeah,
proud of it.
I mean, it's as grassroots as it gets, and it's still that way to this day, which is part of what makes it so special.
Yeah, yeah, it's still, you know, it's still grunge to me. I don't know. It's got this like, you know, like, oh, I don't know, we should talk about this. But I'm like, this is where it started, you know. Like you bring it up, and it's like we don't want to talk about that. It's like, come on, you know. Yeah, so it's good times, man.
I mean, that's what makes it cool, right? Like, and especially that you can't censor this shit. You can censor Pepe's everywhere else on the internet, but you can't censor them on the Bitcoin blockchain.
No, you can't. Yeah, so that's another cool thing that was like pretty much embedded into it, you know. And yeah, I don't know. I think it was kind of fun, like the last couple of years too, because you know some people would bring it like Art Gnome. He always champions the Pepes, you know. Thank God, you know, got someone you know that's like entrenched in the art world, at least like rep it. But you know, then some other people are kind of like they don't want to admit that like memes helped build the house of this thing, you know. And it's like I'm there just to go, they did, you know. You know, so yeah.
It's all about the meme at the end of the day, and I mean, the NFTs, digital tokens aside, like what better meme is there than Pepe, right? Like, I mean, Pepe was born on the MySpace days and still around. You can't go anywhere without seeing a Pepe.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that was partly the magic of it too, because it's, you know, I mean, the Pepe meme, as much like controversy as it gets, but like it's weird. It's like this omniscient thing. It can be good or bad, right? But it's like the most like propagative like character on the internet, you know. So I think like that was another reason why it worked so well. It's just everybody knew it, everybody wanted to contribute to it and had their own you know, take on them, you know, and that was that. And yeah, we had a blast doing it, you know. So many innovations happened when all this stuff was going on. Like, so Joe Looney the other day was talking about some stuff that I didn't even know about. Sometimes I would dip out, you know, I'd dip out a month while everybody else was doing their stuff, and then I'd come back into the chat and you'd see all these, you know, new Pepes minted, and I'm like, what's going on here, you know? So
yeah, wild times, man. I wasn't around for it. I came into the scene just after, so it's like every conversation with, you know, whether it's Joe or Skrilla and now you, like I learned something new about the Pepes, man. It's like an onion, man. There's always a deeper layer.
Yeah, because you know, every single person that contributed pieces, you know, they got their own life story. I mean, even for me, like my funny story was, you know, I have an asset called like, you know, the Divine Lord Keck asset, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I sold one of those to go on like a Europe trip, you know, like during like 2019, right? And I sold one for like 10 grand, and I just said, screw this, I'm taking the money and I'm flying, right? And then when I got back, I went back in, you know, I checked out Ethereum. I'm like, what's going on with the, you know, the NFT world? Well, NFT didn't even exist to me at that point.
Right.
Like, what's going on with blockchain art, you know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, I found Known Origin and Super Rare came about. And then I jumped in there. I go, oh, it's going on again. Cool. Because there was a long dip after the last, you know, bear market. You know, everything kind of got quiet.
Right, right.
Not a lot was going on. All the projects like burrowed in and get back to work. But yeah, then I found that phase and then kept moving on, you know. So yeah, funny stories across the board. Everyone's got their own like, you know, take on it, which is great, you know.
Absolutely, man. And yeah, like to your point on the dip, like the Pepes, I feel like got real quiet there for a while, and I don't know, man. From as far as I can tell, it looks like they're really bubbling up. Not just in the core community, which has been incredibly resilient, but throughout the crypto art scene, everybody's starting to take notice of the Pepes and recognizing that they're one of the first projects, and really a project that really distinguishes itself, and it's going to be around for a long time.
Yeah,
forever.
And I brought this with me. It's funny, whenever the Pepe stuff, I just want to show everybody how thick this book is. Okay,
Holy shit!
These are all the cards that are made. Like this is a tome at this point. Yeah, like if I just open it up, this is all the artwork that has been minted on there. It's like insane, And the crazy thing is when you go through it, it's like it's chronological in history too, because a lot of the cards that were made touch upon maybe like politics, or they touch upon like the scams that went down, and so there's like history embedded in this shit. And for me, it's like I kind of just look at it myself, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot when that went down, or when this went down in crypto, and all the little cultural aspects of it are actually in there. So, and I really didn't think about it too much until later. I'd sift through the book here and there, but then I like took a good look at it. I'm like, shit, man, this is actually pretty dope, man. It's like a good historical context for crypto.
It is real history, so many cultural references. And also one thing that Joe pointed out to me is that you see the evolution in like the artistry, the digital artistry over time. Like in the beginning, the first few series, it's just the static images. And then you have, the first animated NFT or whatever you want to call it. And then from there, the style just progressed, and it became this kind of like Cambrian explosion, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, I think the first technical GIF NFT was in the Pepe project. I can't really remember anything else, but I remember when the GIFs were made, because right when I saw it, I was like, oh, we're breaking the mold again. Someone brought out the GIF. Here we go. It was one of those things like, why didn't we think of that? Someone else just came in and just did it, and then from that point on, it went from the normal, like if you look at like the first series, the first and second series, we all went by the card, template. Everybody actually formulated into the card, and then slowly the card just gets ditched, and then all of a sudden it's just straight artwork, So which is pretty cool to see too. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Well, awesome, man. Let's I'm really glad to have you on here and take us through each of these lots. We got 21 lots to go through, and I can give you my piece of what I've learned recently, but you were there when this happened, so I'm really curious to get your take. So starting off with Dank Pepe. This is Series 1, Card 5, so the fifth Pepe card to be issued. Yeah,
I mean the Dank Pepe is like, I mean, mimetically, it's you got to have the word dank in the first series. That's what it is. So it was funny too, because a lot of the first series cards were like name grabs, like nobody wants to admit it, but really it was like who like get all the historically significant like internet memeology names, that's why I grabbed the Lord Tech, because I was like, get the divine one, obviously.
Sure.
And so yeah, a lot of the first series you'll see like the typical, I don't know, like famous like Pepe names in there, and then after that it got wacky. So but yeah, the dank, obviously the dank one. It's classic. Yeah, it's a classic one for sure.
All right. So next up, we got Haram Pepe. I don't know anything about this, but I love this card, just the look of it. It's got that classic look,
It's Harambe. I mean,
Harambe. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's Harambe. It's right when I saw this one, I was like, I just started cracking up. I mean, that's a classic one. And the funny thing is too, is like I have some cards as well, and it's like, I almost like, it's not that I don't want to show them. It's like I purposely made some of them like super shitty, because it's like that's what you want to do with memes, It's like you don't want to make them like perfect, and so that's like the aesthetic, So it's like the Haram, it's like it's not the most perfectly drawn, Harambe, but it's like perfect to me because it's like hilarious, Yeah. But yeah.
Do you know the artist of this one?
It's funny. I'm gonna probably get a whole like load of shit for.
Sorry for putting you on the spot.
Oh yeah, no, it's all good. No, I don't know. And a lot, to be honest, I forgot most of the artists that did the cards, because it's been so long. That's like too much beers, man. It's just what
I mean,
erased
it
my
may
memory.
not be known. Some of the artists are anonymous, right? So
Yeah. You know, it's funny. It's funny too because a lot of the artists too, like later on, I mean, they were coming from so many different countries. You know, we had some Japanese artists, man. So, you know, South American. It's just all over the place. India. It's just gnarly, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
I only ask because this artist has. I see this style come up a lot, and it just whenever I see it, I'm just like, oh shit, that's classic Pepe right there.
Yeah, and I'm assuming the more that this gets out, I actually can't wait for that because like a lot of these artists will start coming back into the fold. It's like it's like the family's kind of getting back together. I actually can't wait for that. It's starting to happen, which is kind of crazy, you know?
Yeah, you can feel that.
Yeah.
And this one, we already got a 1.4 million sat bid on Ram Pepe.
Nice.
Long way to go on that one.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got the Cheech and Chong Up and Smoke series. So this is Cheech Pepe and Chong Pepe.
Classic, man. Together. Oh, right on. Oh, as a pair. Nice.
Yeah. Already up.
Good bid so far. Right on.
5 million sats. Wow.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Both series 5. That's pretty early. Both 100 issues. I mean, you know, pretty dank and rare right there.
Yeah. I mean, from series 1 to series 5 is, you know, I mean, that's right in the beginning there, right in the very beginning. Yeah.
It's still issued October 2016. So what? Just like a month after the original, something like that.
Yeah. I think we were doing them like submissions like every week. I can't even remember. Joe knows more than me, but yeah, I mean, we would have submissions all the time, and sometimes I think, I was trying to submit as much as I could, and I just like, you know what, I gotta leave some space for everybody else, you know. It's like, yeah, it was getting there. So, but yeah, that's a classic one.
All right, right on. So next up, we got Mayweather, Pepe, and McGregor.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I love these. I actually, like I said, I don't know who did these.
So this one was by Indelible Trade.
Yeah, okay. But it's such a funny style though, because it's like you got the skin tones like pretty good, you know, like
nailed it.
Yeah. The Connor one's pretty clean too, actually. The Connor green is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
The perfect duo to celebrate that iconic fight right as it was happening. I guess that was right in 2017.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's like an event that happened during that time. It's like,
right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
We got some bonus levels on this one. Check the bonus levels on these as you're going through, people. So this one, if it goes up to 0.125 BTC, you get a Giancarlo, and you get a shitcoin card if we go up to 0.55. And I think a shitcoin card's coming up. So that's the next one. Right on.
Yeah, shitcoin card is a classic. Yeah, there it is.
This was so this is card 3, right?
Yeah.
I love this one, man, because it's just like, again, you know, I came into the space 2017 or so. So, you know, shitcoins were always around when I was around, but this is just a nice reminder that, you know, shitcoins have always been around. They've always been doing their thing. Like that just hasn't changed. Shitcoins are a shitcoin.
Yeah, and they still exist in different forms. Like I won't say, but it's like the whole ICO phase happened, and we have the NFT phase happening now too, and it appears, man. Like that energy appears at every bull run, you know. So yeah, this is a classic one, man. It's got Namecoin in there.
Yeah, so I see Litecoin, Namecoin. I don't know what this one is.
Oh, I forgot that. I forgot.
I've never seen that before.
Oh man, it looks like the AMCAP or something. Maybe some AMCAP coin or something like that. I can't remember which one that was, but yeah.
I don't know. RIP, whatever it is.
Yeah.
All right, dope. So now we got Gox Pepe, another classic. Yeah. So this was card 2.
Yeah, the Gox Euphoria. Yeah, there he is. Mount Gox right there. Mark Carpeles, man.
Marking another historic moment in crypto history.
Yeah, you got to have Carpeles in there. Yeah, see, the funny thing is that like it's been so long too that like people probably know like Mount Gox, or maybe just might have heard of it, but like never actually seen the guy. Like Well, actually, now I think he's slimmed down. He's not as overweight as he used to be. I think from the newer pictures, he's like all super like cut now. I'm like, what? But anyways, yeah, that's him when he got busted in Japan, you know. But I think that photo, I think that was like the photo where he had that moment of dishonor when he was in front of the Tokyo press. I think that might have been the photo. I can't remember, but there was a point in time where like he had to bow and say sorry, like sorry I defrauded and made Japan look bad, you know, kind of deal. Was hilarious. But yeah, that's a classic one.
Yeah, again, like I wasn't around for Gox, but just seeing this picture, I feel like, you know, I'm experiencing a small part of it.
Yeah. And that was a hilarious time when that went down. I mean, all the people trying to get their money back from the exchange. People were flying over there with like signs saying, "I want my money! I want my money!" You know. Yeah,
dude, I can only imagine. I mean, you know, you still feel the reverberations from it from these days. Like, not your keys, not your coins. Like everybody, that chant is strong, and for good reason, because a lot of people learn that lesson the hard way.
Yeah, and I think too, you know, a lot of the like Bitcoin maxis are getting a lot of like, you know, shit these days for the paranoia and stuff, and there is some reason to that, because like I'm not saying I'm a Bitcoin maxi, but I understand like why some of them are like really irate when it's like you don't have your keys. Like it was because like a lot of crazy shit went down back then, a lot of scams, you know, and they don't like to see it repeated, so that's why they kind of like get really like emotional about it when they talk about that shit, you know. So, yeah,
absolutely, man. That scar tissue runs deep, and shit, man, it's good. It's good lessons for the noobs, you know. Like
yeah, a lot of exchanges went down. You know, I mean, I got lucky with some of them, man. I actually used some exchanges, and luckily I pulled my money out before, maybe a couple months before. I just lucked out, literally just dodging landmines, and some of them I predicted would go down, and then literally within 2 months it was like, oh, you know, all of a sudden just disappeared. That exchange is gone.
Wow.
This exchange is gone. Yeah, it was pretty wild, you know, and trading was wild too. Like, you know, I mean, you could put a Bitcoin in and come up 100x back then. Like it was crazy gambling. Like it was straight up super degen. Degen. Yeah.
That's the real Wild West days.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next here? We got Easy B comic package.
Okay, this one, I have this one in my wallet. I absolutely love this one, man. And it's got a pouch of Lord Keck dust on the top. See, like it's weird, like the Lord Keck card kind of like had its own little lore in the whole thing, and people would reference it from time to time. But yeah, well, these are great.
What do you mean by the Lord Keck dust? What is that?
Yeah, see at the top it says win a pouch of Lord Keck dust. So people would refer to the card that I had, you know, and it was just kind of funny, you know. The deity,
that's a strong meme right there.
Yeah, and I just like the artwork of this one. It's just so freaking well done, you know. Sometimes you get people come in and they just like totally just drop it and just, you know, really bring it. Yeah,
I mean, look, I mean, Pepe came from a comic, right? So mashing up the rare Pepes with iconic comics, it's just it's the perfect combo.
Yeah, and I got the Groiper in there.
Yeah, he's got a sick style.
Yeah, very cool.
Man, we're up to over 2 million sats on that one as well.
Catching
nice. Some early bids.
Right on.
All right, what do we got now? Going up. Yep. All right, now we got this American Modern series. This is by Zed. So this is 4 cards that are a take on different American modern art styles. So we got the Campbells.
Yes.
Yep. Pepe Soup.
Yeah, there was a lot of remixes done throughout this whole catalog, man. And look at that. Look at the Keith Haring Pepe, man.
It's beautiful.
It's freaking awesome.
This is my favorites right
now. Yeah, the Pepe Pollock. Oh, I love this one, man. Yeah, like it's just
because like if you stare at it long enough, you can find the Pepe.
You can kind of see him pop out. Yeah, no, it was great. You know, all these like renditions that were done, it just blew me away. Yeah. See, these are the works too that I think a lot of people don't, when they talk about like the rare Pepe, like, you know, the assets and stuff. You have, of course, the famous ones, but you got these like remixes and renditions that were so well done, and they kind of get lost in the conversation. And I think if people saw more of these, they'd be like, wait a minute. So there was a lot of variation of different styles that were contributed, So, yeah.
Absolutely. I'm a sucker for the art themed ones too. Because like this, for example, at some point there'll be like really nice digital displays, or even this, you could just print it out in a nice print. You could have this in a nice frame. And most people would walk by it and they would just think it's, a typical abstract. Of course. I mean,
maybe they might even say,
but even the soup or, any of these, at first glance, you just think it's modern art. And it takes a second glance to realize that it's a Pepe.
Yeah. I mean, even the Pollock, it's like, oh, you got a Pollock? No, I'm like, I got a Pepe.
Ultimate flex.
Yeah, too good, man. Yeah, that's a good lot right there. That's for sure.
Yep. All right, so now we complete Rare Pepe game card collection. This is 13 cards, I believe. All Pepe themed jacks, queens, kings, aces. I think we got a couple jokers in here.
Yeah. I'm glad people are seeing these, man, because these are phenomenal. I remember when those cards came out too. I was just getting blown away. Every series that started coming out, I think it was probably after the 10th series, I was like, oh man, the game is being stepped up. Like some serious hard-hitting artists were coming in and contributing, and we have a couple of artists too that that went from the Pepe like epoch into like the crypto art sphere. Like there's one called Rare Designer, and he did a bunch of pieces in the catalog, and he's made his own his own stamp in the crypto art world. So yeah, it's cool to see. Same with Skrillex.
Yeah.
Skrilla's doing his own thing on there too. He's on Super Rare and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of the OGs crossed over. Yourself included, of course.
Yeah.
This artist Maya, she's one to look out for. She's got a couple others. I don't want to say too much right now because I'm hoping we can eventually sell one of them.
Yeah,
it's really fucking sick.
Yeah,
but she's just an amazingly talented artist, Pepe's aside.
Yeah, and I mean, soon enough, I mean, I think more people are going to start diving into the catalog. I mean, I've been preaching that, that book that I have, that we should probably do a digital version. The author, Eleonora Rizzi, she minted only 300 of these, so they're like,
oh wow,
they're like super rare books basically, and but to have a digital version would be pretty awesome. I think it'd be a lot helpful for a lot of people that are really interested to just glance through them.
Yeah, for sure. The digital version that's for everyone, widely distributed, and you keep the physical rare as it should be.
Yeah.
All right, sick, man. All right, so next we got Pepe Assange. Of course, a tribute to Julian Assange. Classic card in its own right. There's something special about this one, though. 50% of the proceeds of this sale, they go to support Assange. So we actually did I guess I'll pull it up now. We did we did a sale with Pascal a couple months ago. Put together this amazing portrait of Julian Assange using dollar bills.
I remember that. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. And he hit a BTC address down here, and 30% of the proceeds, I believe, went to that BTC address. You can look it up, verify, and that address. I don't want to say too much, but some close to Assange is in control of it and is using it to help his cause.
Nice.
So awesome. Yeah, same with Pepe Assange here. 50% of the proceeds will go to that same address.
Very cool. Nice. I love the haircut.
So good, right?
It's so slapped on. It's like that's half the battle with these things though. It's like you can't make it too perfect, and like the hair Pepe card. I mean that's like a legendary card, and it's got the same spirit. It's just don't do the hair right, just don't. Just
right. Yeah, it can't be perfect, man. You gotta keep it Pepe style.
Yeah, Operation Hot Pockets is good.
All right, so now we got Hansel's Summer Hamper. Mr. Hansel, iconic.
There you go. Easy P.
Pepe artist. We got Easy P here. We got
the guy brush.
the guy brush.
Pepe. Yeah, Monkey Island. Okay, that's one of my. That's a card that hits home because like that was one of my favorite computer games when I was a kid.
Oh, what game is this?
Secret of Monkey Island. It's like it's a role playing, walk around, talk, get information, get inventory kind of deal. And right when I saw that, I was like, oh, I need a guy brush Pepe immediately. You know.
Yep.
That's a classic one. And he's holding a Pepe cash. See, it's funny. Like some of the memes, some of the cards would incept into other cards. Like he's holding the actual Pepe cash card, and the Pepe cash card was actual currency that we used. Yeah. And I mean, I was telling Joe the other day, I was like, yeah, wasn't it funny how we got it into like Japan? Japan only whitelisted like 7 cryptocurrencies like as official currencies that they're in the country, and for some reason like Pepe Cash snuck in and got in.
No way.
Yeah. It was like we couldn't believe it, and it was like one of those things we're just kind of like laughing like behind in the alleys, like we managed to pull that off. What the hell? And and then they finally took it off later, but the fact that it was like an official like government sanctioned cryptocurrency was just cracking us up.
Wild.
Yeah.
Years before El Salvador, Pepe Cash legal tender in Japan.
I'm not sure if it was legal tender, but for the exchanges.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
There was a Zyfe exchange that had it, So, but pretty close.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
All right, so now we got Hoddlewood. I don't know if I have the name right. Yeah, Hoddlewood. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, Mr. Hansel, he's another one of those just like super talented artists. Like whether it's Pepe's or doing whatever he's doing, like the guy's got talent.
The Marshmallow Pepe is great. Man, I forgot about that one. That was a good one. Yeah.
Where the wild Pepe's are.
Man, I forgot how good some of these were. Damn. Honestly, like there's so many of them. Everybody has their own favorite 5. But sometimes someone's falling through the cracks. But some of these are really well done.
And like the like the range and style too. Here, you just see it within these 6 cards. Like they're all completely different.
Yeah. No, he did it in the style that that was asking for. It's hard to do.
Exactly.
That one, where the Wild Things Are one is fantastic.
Sitting at 2 million sats already on that lot.
Nice.
Ways to go. It'll be a fun one to watch. We are getting into some pretty dank lots here. Where am I? All right. So next we got Pepe Marauder. This is from Rare Skrilla. Now this one's special. This is special because it's not just the digital card Pepe Marauder. It's also the original Pepe Marauder drawing that he used to create the digital card.
Nice. Right on. Oh, and I was tasked to do something as this was brought up. I am gonna now burn 10 of them. I already set it up. Skrilla told me, he's like, hey, burn 10 of these. So the supply count's going down.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. So what? We're sitting at
so whatever the count is
issued
so
here.
It's gonna be 182 after I'm done.
All right. Yeah. All right. And we got a bonus level burn here too. Skrilla's going to burn 10 Marauders for every 1 million sats in price.
Oh, right on. Cool.
So this thing could get rare real quick, and as it gets more rare, the price should get up. So who knows by the end of this thing?
It's not a bad tactic, actually. I've never heard of
like that
burn tier. Nice one, Skrilla. Well, if he's watching this right now, nice one. Never even thought about that.
So wait, so like you got the finger on the trigger to burn this thing? I've never burned a Pepe. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, so basically there's a counterparty burn address. Okay, so actually really quick, how counterparty actually started and like how they developed value of the token. And the first time I ever like came across the burn concept was they to fundraise. What they did was they burned 2,000 Bitcoins, and then they generated 2 million XCP tokens and distributed to the ones that burned the Bitcoins. So that's how the XCP tokens came out, the counterparty tokens came about. And so that burn address still exists, and I'm going to be sending 10 of those to that burn address. So it's the OG counterparty burn address.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep. So designated address for burns. Anything you want to burn, you send to that address, and it's gone.
Yep. Transaction sent. Done.
Nice. All right. 182 and sinking. Keep an eye on that. That'll be fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got next here? We got Pepe Jobs. Stay rare, stay alpha.
There you go. Now, here's the thing. I can't remember was this before Jobs passed? I can't remember. When did Jobs pass? Was it like? I'm wondering if yeah.
That's a good question.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up real quick because I'm not sure if that's a memorial card or not.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing. Okay, yeah, that was 2011.
Time does fly. I mean, honestly, that was probably a horrible question, but I just needed to know.
It feels like it was yesterday to me. So
yeah. But So little memorial card right there.
Memorial card, and again, we got another burn theme going on here. There was 100 originally issued, and I don't know when, but 50 were burned at some point. So we're sitting at 50 accessible. And I think, an important caveat here, and you probably know something about this, is like, just because they're issued and accessible doesn't mean they're like really accessible, because a lot of these wallets were lost, a lot of private keys lost. Who knows? These things have been around for a minute. It's easy to lose track of them.
Yeah, that's another thing too, is there was so many artists that kind of just, a lot of them would come into the chat and they'd contribute. And I mean, the chat, it was pretty wild for a while. It was even hard to catch up because we actually have in the chat room, we have this like Pepe chat or card bot, and you would type a command and then you would pull up a random card in there. And so sometimes some people, well, I would do it sometimes too. I'd pull up my own cards and just be like, Lord Cat card, and but people would dip in and out of this chat room. So sometimes they would make cards that would come in and then you probably wouldn't see them for a while. And same with me. I'd be gone for maybe a couple months too and jump back in and see what's going on. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the accounts, a lot of the artists, they just scattered after it was all over, like, where did everybody go? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. And it's not, the wallet functionality has gotten better, right? But back in those days, using a counterparty wallet, like, not an easy thing to do, especially if you're just dipping your toes into it. You're probably not writing down your seed phrase or whatever. Much easier to lose than it is now. It's kind of like Bitcoin, like people were losing Bitcoin left and right back in the day. Not only was it harder to use, but like people didn't think they'd be worth it. So less incentive to take care. I think the same can be said for a lot of these Pepes. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, some of us were pretty hardline. I mean, we definitely. Well, it's funny because I gave out some Pepe cards to friends of mine, and they forgot their keys. Right. I gave a Lord Keck to a friend of mine, and he's kicking himself in the ass every day now. Every time he gets brought up, I'm like, yeah, dude, you lost a freaking Lord Keck card. What are you doing?
Wow.
So out of the one out of the 10 is in outer space. One of them's broken into shards and stuff because it was divisible. But yeah, I mean, it's funny stuff now.
Well, we gotta take a divergence. Tell us about the Lord Keck card. I know a little bit about it, but I don't know the full story.
Yeah. So okay. So I full disclosure, the artist who did Homer Pepe did this card. Okay. I got the asset, and all of a sudden, like, I was gonna make a Lord Keck card, right? And then it was Need Money showed up, and he's like, by the way, here it is. And I'm like, oh, you already did it? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, well, let's just use this then. Screw it. And it looks so good. It looks so good. I was like, let's just go with it. But the funny thing was when I minted it, I accidentally made it divisible. And so the joke is like the Divine Keck came in and was like, no, like, you're gonna make this like divisible infinite. It's like the infinite card. Like, you can break it into as many shards as possible. So like there's one that's missing, and then one that's broken. Yeah, I think that's what it is. There's like 100 holders. I think I can't remember how many holders are still on the card right now, but it looks
like more than 100 because you got 14 pages of about 10.
Okay, right on. So it's changed a bit, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely one that's been sharded where it's been broken many times over. So it's weird. There's like this like dust of Keck. There's people that just have like 0.000001 or even farther than that. They just have like one little shard. I think I've given away like maybe 1 or 2 sats or 10 sats of a Lord Kick card to just various friends because they wanted just a little chunk of it, But I'm sitting on 1 full one still.
All right.
One full one with a little bit left. So I think I have I don't know, 1 and 251 sats of it or some shit like that. But I give out little dusts to people now, because I can't break it. I want to break the one.
Well, you can't break the one, but the change you can continue to dish out a little bit.
Yeah. So the joke now is I screwed up, but really it was the universe that decided this card should be infinite, apparently. So
yeah. And this adds to the meme, right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely, for sure. Yeah. And this card is glowing. If you look at it long enough, it glows pretty nicely. I don't know. That was a nice touch to it too. So
yeah, it's definitely got a majestic look to it.
Yeah.
All right. So getting back to the lots, what do we got here? Oh, I do want to say we got some bonus levels on Pepe jobs here. If we go 0.1 BTC and beyond, you get some special goodies in here. So look out for that. All right. So we have Pepe Ross next.
Classic Bob.
Bob.
Yeah, even back then, Bob Ross was constantly, we still, even the crypto art world, we always bring up Bob Ross, but even back then, Bob was still meme worthy to throw in there. Oh, he's painting the classic Nakamoto too. Yeah.
I mean, the look on Bob's face there is just, couldn't be any better.
The only time Pepe Bob gets mad, I don't know what he looks like. He's kind of irked, but it seemed he's in a daunting task to paint the Nakamoto. That's what it is.
For sure, man. It's a hell of a task. I just love these, man, because you look at it, take first glance, and it looks like kind of a simple, silly thing, but this is deep because I grew up in 80s, 90s, and Bob Ross was everywhere. That was my introduction to art, right?
Yeah.
That's the first exposure I had to art, was seeing Bob Ross on TV showing you how to paint a landscape.
Yeah, public access. Yeah, it's kind of weird. He was always there, for your childhood. You know what I mean? I think that's what it was. The people that actually lived in the 90s and just saw that, it was he was always there. You can always put the channel on, and all of a sudden you see Bob just doing his painting stuff. But it's even back then, it's we didn't care because it was just some dude with an afro painting, But then it's you just realize, man, this guy is it's part of my life now,
Yeah, deeply ingrained in the psyche.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next? We got Pepe Counter. Oh, and I should say Pepe Ross, super rare. There's only 50 issued of that one. Only 50 issued of Pepe Counter. And what's the story, Robness? So at some point there was some kind of rule put in where it had to be 100 or more issued, but some of these snuck through before, right?
Yeah. So I'm partly to blame for that because I started making a lot of I was trying to make 1-of-1s and 10 counts and stuff like that. I was the one that was trying to make things super rare,
Yeah.
And after a while, it was well, if we want to make this stuff more get out, get further out, we got to have more than just 10 counts of stuff. So after a while, it was everybody just kind of collectively decided we're gonna just do it 100 and up. And of course, I was no, we got to keep this super, super crazy rare. And it was just decided, I'm fine, okay. And, we started making 100,000 counts and, 10,000 counts and so forth. So probably after this, you'll notice that all the counts were 100 and beyond for sure. So, and another thing too was to keep the earlier series really low count. I think that actually kind of worked pretty well. So,
yeah, you keep the ultra classic ones rare, make them special, but then the later series with high issuance, that's the Pepe's for everybody, right?
Yeah. And another thing too that was cool was back then, the reason why all this stuff really worked was because the transaction fees were so low. To send out cards, it was 9 cents per transaction. So
wow,
there's a reason why, for example, Hick and Nunk, a lot of people use that for low transaction fees because it's got the same energy. It's you can make a 10,000 count of something and not worry about, here's 50 cards, here's 50, you just fire them out, trading back and forth, and that wasn't much of a problem. So, you know, it was a good time back then to just be able to like have the stuff propagate, you know, effectively, which is cool, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the memes are, you got to distribute the memes, right, to make them memes. So
Yeah.
that's definitely something to be said for that.
Yeah, a lot of trading going on too. People would be swapping cards back and forth, you know. Like I would make a card, and then maybe like someone would make a card and hit me up, and like, yeah, let's trade real quick, you know, no problem at all.
Right.
So, yeah.
I mean, it's shit. We're, you know, you can get a transaction out for 1 sat for VByte right now. So,
yeah,
kind of getting a glimpse of the good old days. Enjoy while you can.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so this is a real special one. This is almost complete Series 19, and this is
Yeah.
you know.
John,
go ahead.
Peace,
I don't
friend.
I don't have the history here, so I'd like to hear your side of it.
Yeah, John passed away this year. It was just a sudden loss in the community, and he one of the coolest guys in the whole space. Super nice. Joe obviously, you know, took a big hit with that. He's a dear friend of his. But this was part of a game he was developing, Rare Pepe Party, and this was going to be like one of the cards in the game. But honestly, like he was just like one of the most lovable guys in the space. He was always funny. John was the best, man. So yeah, you know, much props to his family, and yeah, I mean, all my regards too. You know, I took it pretty hard too, because it's like, what's weird is he's like a brother, you know what I mean? And especially with all this stuff that, like, how big it's gotten, you know, like the work everybody put in, like so utterly crucial, you know. So took it, you know, it definitely hit me too. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You know, I just saw it from the sidelines from the Rare Pepe chat, and it's pretty clear that you know, he's a very well respected person, and
Funny
a lot
too.
of love from the community.
Yeah, yeah, he's super funny, lovable guy, man. Yeah.
And as we're talking here, 10 million sat bid just comes through from Debussy.
Nice.
So showing some love there. This is an iconic set. How many cards is this?
Oh yeah, comes with quite a bit. Yeah.
It's a shitload of cards here. It's almost the entire Series 19. I don't know if the other cards are even available. I think it's in the text here, so read through and do your research.
Yeah, it says the proceeds. Is that going to his family possibly?
Yeah. So
awesome.
50% of the proceeds are going to his family.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's super cool, man.
Very special lot here, and it's a very unique style, you know, like it's one of those. He obviously had a unique style as an artist, and it definitely comes through this series.
Yeah. And I always used to have a joke with him too, because he was working on the game, and I would always say, and I'm going to say it out loud right now, because whoever's watching that knows when's the game coming out, and he would always say 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Always say 2 weeks, and you know, so there's my send off for him right there, man. Yeah. When's the game coming out?
2 weeks.
Yeah, man.
All right. So what do we got here next? All right, we got Marvin Pepe. Another super rare. What is this? 42 issued on this one.
Okay, yeah, this one was one of the first GIF pieces that blew me away. And it's just, I mean, just look at this thing. It's utterly beautiful. Like the Pepe is super cute. The Pepe robot, just watching the modular machine going. The
font. I mean, perfect font choice.
Yeah, no, it's a really good one. It's one of my favorites too. Yeah. And I think it was one of the really good first GIF ones that I was like, oh, this is like someone's going for it, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And showing a 5 million sat bid already on that one.
Nice. Yeah.
Good bonus choice. Levels, of course. Shit, did we hit a bonus level? No, not wait. My sats math is off point. No, 5. Not quite. No, we have not hit the bonus levels yet. Still ways to go on those. All right, we are sitting at Doggy Putin.
There's quite a bit of Putin Pepes that fell through the cracks and stuff.
Yeah, well, it looks like there's a series of 5, right? This is number 2 in the series of 5.
No, there you go. Yeah, the Putin series. Yeah. Oh man, what can I even say about this?
The creativity that went, like, how do you have this idea? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, it is what it is. You know, I mean, I remember the first Putin that came out, and just like that's the political side. You know, like there was a lot of like just funny political Pepes that got thrown out. It's just funny.
Yeah. And this one, there's only 9 issues of this one, so I don't know if they get any more rare than this.
Yeah, the 3 counts.
Well, you got the Homer Pepe, of course.
Yeah, the Homer Pepe. There's a couple of 1-of-1s. The Homer Pepe being obviously the most famous one. But there's a lot of good 3 counts as well. You know, if you can find the 3 count cards, man, good luck trying to acquire those. You know, so that's my advice. Because for me, I'm thinking about them like, how am I going to get some of those 3 counts? Like now, I'm like wondering, like, you know, maybe I should pick up some of those. Shoot.
The Pepe FOMO is real, man.
Yeah.
I feel like I was sleeping on it. I came late to the game, but it was a lot easier to pick up the rare Pepes a few months ago than it is now. I mean, look at this one. It's sitting at that's 0.3 Bitcoin right there.
Yep. They know what they're going. They know what they're trying to get. That's for sure. And Skrilla just said lean Pepe. I've got one of those, like 1-on-3 cards. It's like this. It's like this vaporwave Pepe. It's just it's got Japanese kanji on the top, and it's just Arizona iced tea, the whole 9 yards. You know. now I'm really holding on to that one because I was trying to like sell that one back in the day, and I'm like, wait, just hold on to that thing. You know, it's a 3 counter. You know, like so.
Yeah. Generational wealth. In Pepe form. I mean, what better way? What better way to enrich your grandchildren than through a Pepe?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, these things changed my life. I'm not gonna lie, it changed my life.
Absolutely. All right, we got 3 more to get through here. Unlucky Pepe, another super rare. So this one, 13 issued originally, only 7 holding intact. I guess this is another divisible one, from my understanding.
Yeah, there was a couple of divisible ones made for sure. I think it's funny. I was going through the book too. Like it lets you know if they're like gifts or like, you know, if they're divisible. And I was like, oh, there's another divisible one. That's cool. You know, so it's happened from time to time. And then after a while, you know, we started like putting little rules like don't make them divisible, 100 and beyond, and that's that, just to keep things like keep them dank rare.
Yeah, absolutely. And this one, this is extra special too because it builds off of the Bad Luck Brian meme. You can see it. You can see him in the background there if you really
so trashy.
Zone in on it.
I'd almost put that in the trash art category, like proto trash.
Yeah, maybe you can do you know, a sequel match, or I don't know, new rendition of this one.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't even know. I think there might be I'm just gonna throw this out there to the rest of the community. I'm like, shoot, man, what if we just put like a new rare Pepe contract on Ethereum, and the proceeds go to like counterparty development? I don't even know. Like, do you know what I mean? Why not? You know, I don't know. Yeah.
I'm sure you would find some buyers in that.
Yeah.
All right, 2 more. So what do we got? ICQ Pepe's acquisition number 2, Dexter Pepe. All right, so this is not just a single Dexter Pepe card. This is asset ownership. You want to explain to the audience what that means, Robin?
So he's given out the actual asset, the Genesis card. Like I like put it this way, like the Lord Keck card. Like I have like the Genesis asset, so you can transfer the entire asset over to like new ownership to somebody else. So basically, you'll covet the whole enchilada with this thing. Yeah.
So that with that, you know, there's no more certified rare Pepes that are being created, right? That stopped several years ago. But if you are the asset owner, you can still issue sub assets, right? So technically, you could create, your own, remixes of Dexter Pepe or whatever you want that live on the Dexter Pepe original asset. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I mean, I personally never delved with the sub asset stuff. I mean, I just never got around to it. So some of the other guys are definitely more pro than I am with that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, if you own the asset, you definitely have control for sure.
Yeah. All right, a new frontier to be explored here.
Yeah.
And this is super rare too. I mean, this is only 50 issued on this one. Series 2, very early, very rare.
Yeah, 50 counts are low too. Yeah. Yeah, anything below 100, those were minted before like the new rules were put in.
Yeah. All right, last, certainly not least, we got Rare Pepe, the OG.
The one. Yeah, this is it was a 300 count, right? I always
300 count.
I always said 200. I don't know why I keep thinking it's 200, but yeah, 300. This is like ridiculously like rare material right here. Like you own one of this. This is the genesis of everything. This is the reason why I got into it in the first place. Like I didn't see this picture at first. This was the card. Yeah, and in the very beginning, like I said, I saw the Rare Pepe asset in the counterparty exchange, looked it up, and then found out that there was an image attached to it. This is it. So you can't get any more historic than that, So good luck to the winning bidder. I don't even have one. I know,
man. This is the one. It's like this is the one I kicked myself over because it was like I saw a couple opportunities where I could have gotten this at a reasonable price, and that was just missed that.
I'm gonna have to try to acquire one of these things in the future. Like I'm gonna have to go for it. I don't know how I'm gonna do it.
You got 2 days and 3 minutes to go for this one.
All of a sudden, I turn into bidder. Yeah.
Go head to head with Rare Skrilla.
Yeah. Oh, Skrilla's going for it. Good luck, Skrilla.
Yeah, 10 million sats on it right now. I think that number is going to go up.
Yeah.
What I love about this too is it's kind of the metaphor of course, this is Dorian Nakamoto pictured here in Pepe form.
Yeah.
Who was once mistaken to be Satoshi Nakamoto, but it was, if I'm not mistaken, an artist who goes by the name of Mike, who created this, threw this and a couple of the other early series Pepes into the mix, and then kind of disappeared, and no one really knows who he is. Very much true to Satoshi form, right? So this is kind of like it's it made the Rare Pepe genesis authentic to the Bitcoin genesis.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Rare Pepe Mike. And it's funny too. I don't know if he's watching, but it's so funny. We've had quarrels in the Telegram chat from time to time. I was even raising hell back then about stuff. Like I was always like there was all right. So I'm gonna share the one story. I made this card called the Shark Pepe, right? And it literally, I grabbed it from the internet, right? It was like the shark version of the Pepe, and I put him in there, and I put like this funny ass background and this and that, and like it didn't get admitted into the Rare Pepe catalog. Yeah. And I'm like, why was that? It's like, well, there's might be copyright. I'm like, what are you talking about copyright? And so so instead of that, I made like a black market Rare Pepe like room, and then we just make all these illegal cards. So there's a bunch of illegal rares and shit. So like we even had that stuff going on. Like it's just like even thinking about it now, it just cracks me up because like it was a project, so there was some rules we couldn't break. So but I mean,
it's inevitable that the black market would spring up, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to find that card right now. I think I took the card and I wrote on it. I was like black market rare or something, tagged on my own card and put it out, But just funny stuff, man. But I'm honestly I just think about it right now, so many good memories, just trying to do this thing, So
I can't imagine being there when it was all happening, and it just feeling. I don't know what it felt like, but I can imagine it felt like. Just a fun thing, and to see what it's developed into must be a very special feeling.
When the Homer Pepe got sold at the auction at the event in the NYC, man, I was like, that's when, we definitely knew we were breaking ground and stuff, and we knew that this stuff was going to be big, but after that, it was finally we ripped, we tore a hole in the universe. We finally did it, And even back then, it was we're like, where's Christie's knocking on our door now? But yeah, I mean, right at that point, it's we all kind of knew we're making history now, and it's a great feeling, man. Honestly, sometimes I think about it, I just during the day, I'll think about it. I'm like, damn, look at everything that's happened. From just a bunch of nitwits on a freaking Telegram, just like trolling and like making these memes, you know. But that's kind of how it is, I guess. I don't know, you know. So definitely blessed, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's whether it's the rare Pepes or NFTs in general, you still got a lot of people who, you know, they don't believe in it. Maybe they believe in it, they just don't like it. Whatever, it's not for everybody. But like, if you're really paying attention, it's hard to deny that this is a real thing and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and another thing too, like I know, Paul, like just to sign it off. When we were doing all this stuff, even the Bitcoin people weren't even kosher with the idea. Like they just totally dismissed the blockchain art, you know, just the abstraction. That was another abstraction on an abstraction. So when they were busy fighting everybody else to prove that Bitcoin worked and it was a currency, we were trying to prove like that blockchain art back then is what I called it, that would be something. And they were like, no, it's only currency. You know, it's like, holy shit. So we were really like on the fringe, you know, it was like, holy crap. Now we got to prove it to them. And even some of them still don't think that, which is hilarious. You know, like some of the Bitcoin magazines are like, fuck NFTs. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? You know? So yeah, no, it's been a blast, you know, ever since.
Good shit, man.
Yeah.
Well, Robness, any final thoughts you want to leave us with? Any final favorite Pepes? Anything you're working on that you want to talk about?
I just want to honestly, I just want to thank the rest of the family, dude. Like in that whole chat. I mean, like it's just everybody that contributed and everybody that did all this stuff and even put it together. Like props to Joe Looney and just everybody that just chipped in. I mean, just be proud of yourself and what you've done. You know, you guys have changed the course of art history. Like seriously, like there's no joke about it now. It's happened, you know.
For sure.
And yeah. And someone else told me to take a victory lap, and I'm just gonna share that. I'm like, yeah, y'all can take a victory lap too, because honestly, like we did it, you know. So yeah.
I mean, and I know it wasn't easy, but you know, Rare Pepes have been through a lot, dude, and they persevered. The community's persevered big time.
Yeah.
So any win the community can get, well deserved.
Definitely, man. Yeah. No, it's been great.
Awesome, Robness. Well, this has been so fun, man. Thank you so much for doing this. Awesome.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, it's been a blast, man. Most definitely. Yeah, congrats on the lots, man. Yeah.
Thanks, dude. Thanks. Yeah, two more days to see how this goes. It's going to be exciting times. Tune in, place a bid, get in there. All right, Robness, we'll let you go, man. Thanks again, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys. All right, see you guys.
All right, later. All right, if you're still with us, we'll check in on some of these auctions. If you want to get a snapshot of what's going on for all the auctions, just go to the Rare Pepe Market Collection page. And here you'll see, after a quick load and some shuffling, that here you can see the top bids for all lots in the collection. We've got them all across the board. Some still waiting for the first bid. Some already very high bids. Get in there, find one you're looking for, place a bid, start flexing early. Do your best to scare the other bidders off when it comes down to game time. If you have any questions on how to place a bid, hit me up. Pretty simple to do. I know it can be intimidating if you're not used to using Lightning or transacting in Bitcoin, but you don't even need Lightning. You can make your bid deposits on chain. You get all your bid deposits back after the auctions are paid for. Nothing to worry about there. But if you have any questions, easy to find. Scarce.city on Twitter, Telegram, C Tremount. Find us on the Scarce City Banter Telegram channel. Ask your questions there. We also have automatic bid updates coming through there. That's where after you place your bid, you go flex on the channel. You tell them to come at you. Throw out your Pepe memes, plenty to choose from there. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you soon.